nearly 50 years, McLaren has been making some of the world's fastest and most successful racing cars, cars that only the hottest of hotshots have been able to handle. Well, now they've made another one, a car that, in theory at least, a middle-aged amateur like me should be able to handle. Before I get in and drive it, I'm going to have a word with Andrew Cacaldi, who is the director of the McLaren GT project. Andrew, can you just talk us around the car and tell us about its highlights and how it differs from a standard road-going MP4-12C?
Okay, well, it's quite a lot different to the road car, to be honest. It starts off with the carbon monocell like the road car, but after that it looks very different, and in a lot of ways there's so many things that aren't the same. So you see, obviously it's got a vent in the bonnet, it's got a front radiator, it's 50 mil wider per side, so that's quite a considerable difference. Obviously it's got different brakes, bigger discs. It's got different doors. It's obviously a lot lower, it's got a front splitter, it's got a rear wing, they're the obvious things. But below the sort of surface of the car, there's all sorts of differences. We don't use the suspension setup from the road car, and the main reason for that is it's not legal for the racing that we're doing. We don't use the road-going gearbox, and one of the main reasons for that is just pure weight, because we need to get the weight of the car down, and also we need to get the weight of the car slightly further forward than say the race car. Then when you kind of come round it, you see sort of we've got brake cooling ducts coming in the side of the car. We've got exit ducts out of the arch. We've got a big diffuser on the rear, and obviously the big rear wing, and one area that we don't like to point out too much is we've had to add extra cooling for the gearbox, which you see in here, which is not exactly where we want it to be, but it's very difficult to package things in these sorts of cars. Inside the car as well is very, very different. So we've got the Formula 1 steering wheel, so it's obviously very, very different. Obviously no interior, one seat, and so inside looks a lot different. The dash is standard, but beyond that it's very, very different.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, well, I hope you can hear me. This is going to be one lap of the Woking Radio Speedway in the McLaren MP4-12C GT3. I'm going to try and talk and drive at the same time, which isn't particularly easy, but anyway, here goes. Okay, so we're going to come onto the banking now. In first gear, short shift up to second, because there's a big bump there, which you don't want to hit. Now it's flat out round the banking. Third, fourth, fifth gear, little brake into the banking. Don't go over the white line at the bottom. Feed the power in. You're looking for the 300-meter board. Brake, fourth, third, second, first. You use first gear in this car quite a lot, particularly around a little twiddly circuit like this. Okay, second, third, back down to second. Right, okay, so we can use a little bit of off track there into this tight curve here. Missed the apex, down, never mind. Got to try and keep it in there. And now going up this strange little brow here and into a double left-hand bend. Keep it in second. Let it flow out and in. And now clean exit and go! Wait for the blue lights. And again. And now down to third for this medium, quick, tricky, long off-camber left. Okay, don't get over the curves at the exit. On the power. Okay, tightest corner on the circuit. Back down to first gear, and that's my braking far too early there. Okay, you can afford to use quite a bit of stuff that isn't technically tracked here. Looking for a marker board. Brake. Brake. Okay.
The MP4-12C GT3 is already a very successful racing car. Not only is it already winning races in its debut season, but McLaren have already sold 25 of these things, and they're about to put another 20 into production. In fact, from where I'm standing, it's only got one thing wrong with it, and that is that it costs £325,000, which means I can't afford one.